Imagine that you're a manager and you've been given a budget for the year of £15,000 and you need to know what you've spent so far and what you've got left. Now, of course, one way to do it is to simply add up the numbers in the cost column, enter the budget in another cell, and in a third cell, enter a formula that subtracts the total spent from the budget. However, sometimes what you want is a column that shows the total so far for every row rather than a single figure, like this. Now, there are several ways that you can create a running total in Excel, and in this video I'm going to show you two methods. One method works with any version of Excel, and the second version, which is much simpler, uses the scan function, which is 365 only. I've converted my data into a table and called the table Spending. You don't have to put the data into a table, but it will make your life easier when you add new items at the end of the table. This is the formula that I used to create the row by row running total. Notice that I've used both an actual cell reference, B2, and a structured cell reference, at cost. You can only use structured references when the data you're referring to is in a table. Cost refers to the column in the table called cost, and the @ sign means the current row. So what the formula is saying is add up the numbers in the range that starts in B2 and goes up to the current row. And by the way, every cell in column C from 2 to 21 contains this formula. There's a couple of gotchas when you're entering the formula, so let me show you. I'm going to start in C2 and I'm going to type equals sum open brackets. After typing the open brackets, don't click on B2 because if you do, it will enter at cost. And that's because you've clicked into a cell within a table. If you do click into B2, just backspace out the at cost and manually type in the B2. Then put the $signs in so that when the formula is copied down column C, the reference to B2 is retained. Then type a colon and then click on B2 and that will give you the at cost. Close the brackets and press enter. And because column C is part of a table, it automatically copies the formula down the column. So what happens if I add another item to the list? So let's go to row 22, type in mouse, type in 50. You can see that the running total of our spending has increased by 50. By the way, you might be wondering why I used a normal cell reference and a structured cell reference. So I'm going to edit that formula, delete out the B2, and in square brackets, type at cost, close square brackets, and enter. The formula does get copied down column C automatically, but what's actually happening in column C is that it's just adding up the numbers in the cost column on that row, so it's not actually doing a running total. Having said that, if you do want to use just structured references rather than a mix of normal cell references and structured cell references, you can actually replace the B2. So again, I'll edit the formula in C2. I'll delete out the first at cost. And then what I want to do is put this reference in. It's a reference to the header row of the cost column. And the reason for doing it this way is that it's a reference that won't change as the formula is copied down column C. Now, rather than typing the reference, the simplest way to get it into the formula is to point the mouse into the middle of B1, so the mouse pointer becomes a little white cross, and click. And that, as you can see, has put it into the formula. I then press enter and everything updates correctly. Okay, so I promised that I would show the scan function to create a running total. Scan is a dynamic array function, and as dynamic array functions don't play nicely with tables, I need to manually resize the table so it only includes columns A and B. The quickest way to do that, point the mouse at the end of table marker, finger on the left mouse button, and drag to the left. So I'm only selecting columns A and B. So column C now is not part of the table. Into C2, I'll type equals scan, open brackets. That's the name of the function, of course. And the first argument I'm going to type is a 0. The scan function lets you enter a value other than 0 as the starting point, although in most cases it will be 0, because you want the value of the first item to be 0 plus that item's value, 1800 in this case. Then I put a comma. The array is the range of cells containing the numbers that I want to add up and generate a running total from, and that's all the values in the cost column. So if I start typing the name of the table, which was spending, and select it from the list, open square bracket, select cost, close square bracket. Then another comma, and the third argument is the function that I want it to perform, which is simply the sum function. Close the brackets, press enter, and we have our running total. So if I go down to the next blank row, type in another entry, let's say 100, you can see the running total has updated. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've got any questions or feedback, please let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, have an excellent day.